following is a WVVA Sports Special. High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Hardee's, Ramey Chevrolet, Twin State Distributing, distributors of Rocky Top, Bluefield Community Wellness Center, and your local IGA stores. Hello again, everyone, from Mitchell Stadium. I'm Ralph Oakley along with Pat Frizzell on the WVVA High School Football Game of the Week. We've got a good one today. Two teams in the top 10 as Bluefield, number 9, hook Greenbrier East, number 8. Pat, we should have a good ball game. What do you see as the key in this one?
Well, it's got to be for Bluefield. Ronnie Scott in the backfield. He's explosive. The kid is quick. For Greenbrier East, on the other hand, their defense has not given up a point all season. Fred Simon said before the game tonight, I had a chance to talk to him moments ago, that they're going to have to move the ball against an explosive Greenbrier East team, and it's not going to be easy. Once again, they have not allowed a point thus far this season.
Scattered showers in the forecast, but so far so good. We've had no rain and somewhat overcast skies, and it looks like we're going to have a good crowd.
About 8,000 expected for tonight's game. Fred Simon said before the game that that could be a big advantage for Bluefield right here. They're going to have a jam-packed crowd. I know it's going to be exciting.
And we look forward to bringing it to you. It's Bluefield hosting Greenbrier East. We'll be back in a moment on the WVVA High School Football Game of the Week. Ralph Oakley along with Pat Frizzell getting ready for the start of this football game. Not much wind. Bluefield won the toss. They have elected to receive, so the Spartans will be kicking off. Kicking off, number 1, Carrie Hanna. Pat, this is an important ball game. Both teams undefeated. This could make a difference in the determining the state playoffs later on at the end of the season.
Kind of unusual this early in the season, like you say. Two powerhouses going head-to-head. A good night for football, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a low-scoring ball game this evening with two strong teams.
Benners, Steckline, and Thompson deep to receive. And we'll be ready to go in just a moment. Of course, this is our second game of the season that we've covered for you on the WVVA High School Football Game of the Week. Our first game 2 weeks ago was Bluefield-Graham. Always a great rivalry. We had a great crowd in Bluefield. Really tough that night with a 34-0 victory. So we're just about set to go. Kicking off, as we mentioned, number 81, that is Carrie Hanna, a 6'2", 185-pound junior. Bluefield wearing their maroon uniforms with the white numerals. The Spartans of Greenbrier East, coached by Homer Criddle, in the white jerseys with the gold pants. High school football, the WVVA Game of the Week. Great crowd on hand, and we are underway. Here's the kick. They're going to kick it low down the middle. It'll be a tough one to handle. Thompson takes it at the 25, up across the 30. Has some room trying to get right. He's tripped up and knocked down at the 33-yard line. It looked there, Pat, for a moment, just like Greenbrier wanted to keep from a long return, and that was an on purpose, almost onside kick, I guess I would say.
I'll have to agree with you. They're probably trying to catch Bluefield off guard early in the ball game.
And it looks like they're going to go without a huddle. We'll check those offenses and defenses for you in just a moment. Stacy Carter, the 6-foot junior, is at the quarterback. They've got 3 guys lined up wide to the left. Let's see, it almost looks like a trick play. And they're going to take it up the middle, and with running room is Todd Benners, and he'll come up for 12 yards in the first down. How about that starting lineup for us, Pat?
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the front line. Starting at tight end for Bluefield will be Steve Arnold. At left tackle will be Jim Lambert. Left guard will be Joe Street. Starting at center, Jamie Music. Starting at right guard would be Joe Skeens. At right tackle, Chris Mead. And at split end, Charlie Thompson. Back with the backfield in just a moment.
Stacy Carter, the junior quarterback, 1st and 10. Here's a pitch, left side. The quick one, Scott, he has nowhere to go. He'll be knocked down for no gain at the 45-yard line. In on the tackle for Greenbrier East, Ronnie Cole.
And as far as the quarterback is concerned, of course, that's Stacy Carter, the 6', 165-pound junior. The halfback tonight, Mike Miller, and Ronnie Scott, the tailback.
Both teams at 2-0. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as Scott was held for no gain there. Good defensive pressure. This Greenbrier club likes to hit. And, of course, as we said, it's their tough defense against the explosive Bluefield offense. Here's a handoff left side. Wallace with the football. He's not going to go anywhere else Cole, as he's knocked down right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, in on the tackle for Greenbrier, number 41, Scott Yates.
Well, a little bit of pursuit there by Greenbrier East, getting right to the ball early. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Greenbrier offense, defense. Starting at right end will be Ronnie Cole. At right tackle, Andy Cook. At nose guard, Danny Hughes. At left tackle, Tony Baxter. And at left end, Tim Hoover.
So we have a third down and just about 10 yards to go. In the shotgun, it's Carter. Fades back the pass. He has time. Looks down the middle. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man that's well covered. And Wallace, the ball got through to him, but he wasn't able to hold on to it. Incomplete. And Bluefield will have to punt the football.
Oh, Wallace nearly made a catch there that could have gone for the touchdown. He was in back of both men there, and if he would have caught it, he could have gone in for 6.
So the first punt of the game, the Greenbrier East defense lives up to its reputation. Ball marked on the 45, 46-yard line. Good snap. Benners has time to get the kick away. It's a high end over end down the left side of the field. Will be taken there by the Spartans, number 9, the quarterback, Juan Haynes, and he is knocked down quickly at the 27-yard line. Haynes tackled there by the Beavers, number 39, Richard Shube. How about that East offense?
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at it for the offense. Juan Haynes starting at quarterback. Number 9, Scott Yates, will be starting at fullback. Mark O'Brien, the tailback. And the front line looks like this. The left tackle, Brad Anderson. The left guard, Wayne Bostic. The center will be Andy Master. The right guard, Stuart Carlisle. The right tackle, Andy Cook. The tight end, Ronnie Cole.
So the Spartans bring it up. Haynes at the quarterback. They don't do a lot of throwing. He's only thrown the ball 10 times in 2 games. In motion goes Hughes. Here's a handoff up the middle, and lots of running room there for hard-running fullback Scott Yates. Yates is averaging 6 yards a carry, picks up 11 yards there. It'll be 1st and 10 for Greenbrier at their own 38-yard line.
Oh, Greenbrier, he's trying to move the ball right through Bluefield on that play.
As we come back to action after that play, a 15-yard walk-off against the defense, so it'll be 1st and 10. The ball up across midfield at the Bluefield 46. Haynes at quarterback. 5'11", 160-pound senior. In motion to the left goes Hughes. Handoff, second man through, Mark O'Brien, and he'll just get a couple of yards before the Bluefield defense stops him. Check that Bluefield defense for us, if you will.
Okay, starting at right end will be number 81, Steve Arnold. The right tackle, Kevin Ellison. The nose guard, Joe Street. The left tackle, Mark Maddow. And the left end, Paul Gravely. The right side linebacker, John Lambert. And the left side linebacker, Mike Miller. Let's go ahead and check the secondary. Floyd Ray, the right cornerback. Stacy Carter, the free safety. There's Todd Benners, the strong safety. And Charlie Thompson, the left corner.
So 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. They've moved forward primarily on that 15-yard penalty against the Beavers. Here's the handoff. And through the line on the right side is O'Brien, and he'll be knocked down by Thompson, but not before he picks up about 3 yards, gets across the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 38, where it'll be 3rd and 2. 3rd down, a couple of yards to go. Splitting out wide to the left, Eric Fogus, 6'2", 175-pound senior. Now Hughes comes in motion to the right. Handoff, where we have a flag. And it appears to be procedure. So after a 5-yard walk-off now against the Spartans, it'll be 3rd down and about 7. Ball marked at the 43-yard line. Hughes again to the right. 2 minutes left, we have another flag. As we come back to action, it's 3rd and 12 as Greenbrier came to the line twice, had motion penalties both times, so they face 3rd and 12. The ball's been moved back to the Bluefield 48. This time they're going to pass. Haynes thought he was going to, looks left, and he'll be brought down immediately by, I believe, in the football game, that was Kevin Ellison, and Haynes didn't fool him.
Kevin Ellison came around the left side there and sacked Haynes, and that's the first sack of the ball game, so that stops any kind of Spartan attack during their first drive.
So Kerry Hanna will drop back to his own 30-yard line to punt. Benners and Trey Steckline, a 5'5" senior, back there. And this is the first punt of the game. So defense, the name of the game thus far. Here's a beautiful high spiral kick by Hanna. Fair catch called for by Benners. He fumbles but falls on it on the 17-yard line. Hanna with just an absolutely gorgeous kick. That'll be marked down as a 32-yard kick, but that was up there a long, long time. 6:57 to go in the first quarter. Our score 0-0 here at Mitchell Stadium. We have a beautiful night for football. somewhat threatening skies in the forecast, but we haven't seen any rain so far. Bluefield with the football. Beavers in their maroon and white. Carter at quarterback. Handoff, second man through. That's Scott. He's got some room up across the 20 to the 22-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Again, Ronnie Scott, the key tonight for Bluefield, being able to move the ball. I know Coach Simon said before the game that that's what they're going to have to do, is look for the big play from Scott. And don't be surprised if we see him break one long tonight.
2nd down, now we'll call it 6. Out wide to the right, I believe that's Thompson. Here's a handoff, second man through over tackle. That's Scott again. He comes up across the 25 to the 26, and he'll be short of the first down by a couple yards. Check that. That was Todd Benners on the carry. 3rd down and 2 now for Bluefield. Ronnie Scott has brought the play in. And we have a whistle. Seemed to be some confusion on the Bluefield side. As we come back to action, 3rd down and 7 after a delay of game against Bluefield. Trey Steckline out wide to the left. Charlie Thompson out wide to the right. Let's see if they're going to put it in the air. Carter hands it off up the middle. And there is absolutely nowhere to go, but we have a flag on the tackle. Carrying the football was number 10, Todd Benners, but we do have a flag. So 5 penalties called in this football game, and we've only played 6.5 minutes, 5:30 to go. First quarter, 1st and 10 for Bluefield after that face mask call. They've got the ball at their own 36. Last year, Bluefield won this ball game 7-0 up at Greenbrier. Here's the pass intended on the far side for Thompson, just out of his reach, incomplete.
So far, an incredibly quick-moving first quarter here. We've only played about 12 minutes, but only 5:16 remains in quarter number 1 here, and still no score.
So 2nd down and 10 for Bluefield after the incompleted pass. Carter intended for Thompson. See what they try this time around. Here's the pitch, but we have a whistle. Well, now that we've had penalty number 6 of the ball game, 5-yard walk-off against Bluefield, make it 2nd and 15. Steckline in the slot. Thompson split out wide to the right. Here's Carter rolling right, tries to run, but slips down, and he'll be down for no gain. I think he tried to fake the pitch and wasn't able to spin on the turf, went down. It'll be 3rd now, and maybe a loss of a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 16.
Well, I kind of wonder if the turf may be a little slick on that play there. He had a hard time coming around the corner and seemed to lose his balance and went down. And thus far, we still had good weather for this ball game. As we mentioned in the pregame, however, showers may fall before the evening's over.
Interesting to note from 2 weeks ago, you can see the grass worn after just a couple of football games on this field. So 3rd and 16 for Bluefield. Carter rolls left. Here's the pitch. It's to Benners. He tries to get around the corner, but good pursuit by the Greenbrier defense. In on the tackle, we had number 44. That's the nose guard, Danny Hughes, assisted by number 86, Ronnie Cole, the 6'3 junior, and Bluefield will have to punt. And the punt is Benners. He had a good boot the first time around. Back deep for the Spartans, Robert McClintock, along with Juan Haynes. Here's a kick by Benners, not a good one as it's shanked off the right. Takes a couple of hops, picked up there by McClintock on the left side. Good coverage by Bluefield, and he'll be brought down on the 44-yard line. And on the tackle, once again on the punt, is Richard Shoup.
Well, Greenbrier East, the Spartans will start with very good field position this time. The ball will be marked at the 44-yard line, so a good chance for them to get something going on this drive.
4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. Bluefield 2 possessions, 2 punts. The Spartans 1 possession, 1 punt. Greenbrier has crossed midfield at one point in this football game. Haynes, first man through. That's Scott Yates, and he'll pick up a couple of yards across the 45 up to the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8. As we come back to action after a timeout, Greenbrier East is 2nd down and 8 yards to go. McClintock in the slot to the right. Back to pass. Hayes looking for a screen pass. It's set up, and it is completed to number 29, O'Brien, down the left side. Across midfield, we'll have the first down. And a great play there by the Spartans as they set up that screen to O'Brien.
Inside the 40-yard line, as we mentioned earlier, they started, Greenbrier East did, with an excellent field position. And this is will be a great opportunity for them to get something on the board with just 2:58 to play here in the first quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Haynes did a good job of just laying it over the defenders there. That was the key. If he'd thrown it on an angle or on a hard line, it probably would have been deflected. Hughes in motion left. Haynes, first man through is Yates, and good pressure by the front line of the Beavers. Yates will only pick up one. The tackle by Gravely.
Bluefield starting to toughen up now, just as they did in the last drive. They get the ball inside the 40-yard line, it seems, each time, as we saw last time, that Greenbrier East seems to be stopped when the ball gets inside their own territory.
John Lambert back in the football game, replacing Mark Maddow, bringing in some instructions from the sideline. Second down and about 8. Eric Pogus out wide to the right. Haynes over center. Here's the pitch. Right side, O'Brien's got some room. Down across the 30-yard line, very close to the first down. He'll probably just be a little short.
It looks like the official's going to mark him about 2 yards short, but I know Homer Criddle has to be very pleased now that Greenbrier East is starting to move the ball. Perhaps Bluefield coach Fred Simon is going to send a fifth man into the defensive back crew. We'll have to see here.
In on that last play for Greenbrier East, Bernie Coleman, 5'11", 170-pound junior tailback. A little substitution on both sides. We're down now to 1:21 to go in the first quarter. Third down and 1 from the 29-yard line. And we have a whistle. Back in action after a delay of game on Greenbrier East, taking too much time. It's 3rd and 6. See what Haynes is going to do with it. Pitch, left side, O'Brien cuts back to cross tackle. He's got some room. He's got the first down to the 20. It looks like he's going to score to the 5. Touchdown for O'Brien. What a beautiful run. A 34-yard run across tackle. Saw daylight to the outside. And with 1:03 to go here in the first quarter, Greenbrier's on top.
O'Brien bounced off a would-be tackler there, went down the left side in for the score. And I know Coach Criddle very pleased with that run.
Run to daylight was the key there, and that makes it 6-0. A 34-yard touchdown run by Mark O'Brien. And Kerry Hanna will try the extra point. This is the first touchdown scored by Greenbrier East in the first half. In their 2 previous victories, 14-0 over Covington and 21-0 over Beckley. It was 0-0 at both games at halftime. But this time, Greenbrier gets on the board in the first half. Here's the snap. The kick is up. And it is, I believe, wide to the right. No good.
Who's going to win the game tonight?
So after kind of a lethargic back and forth first quarter, Greenbrier gets first blood. The Spartans ready to kick off. First time around to start the ball game, they just did a little chip shot. Let's see what they do this time. They'll do pretty much the same thing. This time the ball scorched left off the hands of a Bluefield back, and smartly just falling on the ball is Thompson at the 21-yard line. That ball went through the hands of Gravely, and Thompson made the smart play. But that kickoff, boy, is working well for the Spartans.
Well, that's something I think they do have in their little pregame talk, is the fact they don't want to give Bluefield a chance to return the ball tonight, and it certainly has paid off thus far.
Ball marked just across the 20, 1st and 10. So far, Bluefield has not been able to break to the outside with their running game. This time they'll pitch right side. It's Scott. Tries to cut back to the inside. Now he's going to come all the way around to the left, and he's got some blockers, but he's pulled down from behind for no gain. A beautiful tackle by number 33, Jimmy Parrish. And if Parrish hadn't gotten him from behind, that good pursuit, he had some blockers lined up.
Talk about some scrambling. My goodness, at this level, that's very rare you see it, and showing quite a bit of balance there.
Clock counting down, 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Thompson will come out wide to the left, Steckline in the slot. Don't know if we'll get this play off before the end of the quarter. Carter at quarterback. It looks like they do. Handoff up the middle. It's Benners, and he'll fire forward for 4 yards to the 25. And we've come to the end of the first quarter of play. Our score, Greenbrier East 6 and Bluefield 0. We'll take a timeout on the WVBA High School Football Game of the Week. At this point, I wouldn't think.
Well, last week they came back. I know Coach Simon very pleased with the team's performance, as last week they came back against Tazewell in the second half. So you said it right, it's 6-0, but nothing to worry about so far in the game. It's still early.
That Greenbrier East defense, has been living up to their name. They haven't given up any points now in 9 quarters of football. So it's 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. Carter rolling right. Looks like he wants to pass. Looking for a man. Has Steckline, or rather Benners, complete on the near sideline. Knocked out at the 30-yard line. And it's going to be close, but I think short of a first down.
About a yard short there, as Benners had a chance to pick up the first down, but he's run out of bounds by the quick secondary of the Spartans.
And Bluefield sends in the kicking team. It'll be Benners in to kick. And back to receive Robert McClintock, 5'9", 147-pound junior. He'll be back there with the quarterback, Haynes. Haynes, multi-purpose, runs back, kicks, plays safety on defense and quarterback on offense. Here's a good long kick. Going to go over the heads of everybody. A good Bluefield bounce. Back to taking his Haynes at the 15. Comes right to the 20. To the 25. We have a flag on the play as Haynes is brought down at the 29-yard line, and it's going to be a clip, apparently, against the Spartans. Good long kick by Benners. To come back to action, the clip against Greenbrier East, they'll put it in play, 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Now, obviously, Beavers would like to hold him here and get good field position. Here's Yates up the middle. He'll force it forward for a couple of yards, and it'll be 2nd and 8. We've got some great ball games coming up in the next couple of weeks, Pat.
Well, next week, Friday the 18th, it's Richlands at Tazewell, and you can see the ball game on Saturday the 19th at 4:30 right here on Channel 6.
Tony Collarborough will be back doing that ball game with Pat. Look forward to having Tony with us again this year, and Bill Armour will be chipping in doing some ball games with us as well. We look forward to having him with us as well. Looking forward to halftime tonight. The Greenbrier East Band has a little surprise for us. The song is very near and dear to our hearts, and we'll have that on for you at halftime. 2nd down and 8. Up the right side, here's O'Brien. He's got some room. They pull down from behind, but not until he gets the first down at the 22-yard line. O'Brien doing a great job of running tonight. In on the tackle, number 38, Mike Miller. Spartans running the ball effectively tonight. Out wide to the left is the senior, Eric Fogus. Full backfield, here's a pitch, left side, so O'Brien again cuts back the inside, has room, up across the 30, and nearly to the 40 or 36-yard line he's brought down. Another big pickup, 12 yards. 1st and 10, and O'Brien is really running hard.
Well, O'Brien, that's the second time we've seen that tonight. Of course, the touchdown earlier, the 34-yard run, and all of a sudden he goes for 12 there as he breaks through several tacklers.
Come back to action after a timeout by Bluefield. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line, 10-12 to go in the second quarter as the Greenbrier East offense showing some very positive signs here in the first half of action. Haynes on the long count. Now Hughes comes in motion. Bluefield defense shifts with him. They'll pitch it left. It's O'Brien again. He'll try to get wide to the outside. And great pursuit by Lambert, but we have a flag on the tackle. Lambert held him for his partners to come in and tackle him, but we had a flag on the tackle. And I'm not sure which way that's going to go. It's going to be a clip against the Spartans, so that'll move it back 15 yards. Back to action, 1st and 25 after the clip. The clip really came after the play. 9:55 to go. Here's the delayed handoff left side. O'Brien's got more running room, but a fumble after the tackle. Bluefield's got the football. Coming down the right side, they'll have it at the 15-yard line. Picking up the fumble, Joe Street, 218-pound junior. As we look at that on the replay, Pat, good opportunistic football.
Well, as you can see there, Joe Street with a good heads-up play. There you have it. He picks it up. Great play, and there he goes down the sidelines all the way down to the 17-yard line. The first break of the game for Bluefield.
That's the first turnover. We've had a bunch of penalties tonight. At the first turnover, and you can hear the Bluefield fans, Lois, getting fired up. They'll put it in play 1st and 10. Here's a pitch, left side, Scott. Fakes wide, now he's looking to go that way. Still on his feet across the 15. Fights his way down to the 10 to the 9-yard line. And a flag on the tackle. Good running by Ronnie Scott. As they come back to action, 1st and about 14 yards to go. There was a clip on that last run by Scott. to the ball marked at the 20. Carter rolls right. Here's the pitch to Benners. He looked to pitch it again, but he's going to be knocked down, tackled for a 2-yard loss. In on the tackle for the Spartans, number 74. That's 6'2" senior Tim Hoover.
Tim Hoover, good pursuit there as Carter tried to get the pitch out, but he brings him down. He didn't go anywhere.
9:10 to go, second quarter. Greenbrier East leading by a score of 6-0. A 34-yard run by O'Brien late in the first quarter. And now it's second down and about 15 yards to go for Bluefield. Thompson out wide to the right. Here's Carter, pitch. Looks like it's going to be the halfback option. He's looking for Carter. He's covered. Now the pass back to the right. He's got his man, Thompson, complete at the 6-yard line. And that should be a first down. What a tremendous play by Benners. That was designed to go back to the quarterback, Carter. He was covered. Benners had the presence of mind to get it to Thompson.
Well, it looks like, yes, they're going to have the first down by just about a yard, so that'll make it a first-and-goal situation. And Bluefield looks like they may have a chance to get something on the board here and really tighten things up.
Boy, Benners threw a bullet there, didn't he? I was really impressed with that throw. So, first and goal from the 5. Miller at fullback. Here's a handoff. Number 20, that's Scott, and he'll get the ball down to about the 3-yard line as Greenbrier stacks them up. It'll be second and goal from the 3.
Well, Ronnie Scott only stands 5'6", 160 pounds, but as we mentioned earlier in the pregame show, he's got the speed, and that's something I know that the Spartans have to be very concerned with tonight, is being able to stop Scott when he gets loose.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Miller, the big fullback, 5'11", 190-pound senior, carry the ball down here. Ball at the 3-yard line. Second and goal. Handoff, it's Benners over the left side, very close to the end zone, but he'll be knocked down at the 1-yard line, and it'll be third and goal from there. And this is just where they bunch it up in the middle and just go right after it.
Well, you said it earlier, Greenbrier East has not given up a score in 9 quarters, but Bluefield threatening here, and they have a chance to break that string here in game number 3. Greenbrier East leads it 6-0, but Bluefield on the 1-yard line.
Miller comes in to replace number 10 Benners, and he brings a play from the sideline. They'll have to hurry to get this one off. Steckline split to the right, Thompson wide to the right. Here's a handoff. Miller up the middle, and he's got the touchdown. Mike Miller over the left guard for the touchdown, and with 7:10 to go in the second quarter, we're tied 6-6, and Steve Arnold coming in to try to convert the kick and give Bluefield the lead.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that on replay. A simple handoff there, Carter to Miller right up the middle. He goes into the end zone. We're deadlocked at 6 apiece.
Holding a Steckline, snap good. Arnold with the kick. It is up, and it is no good. Wide to the right. So, surprise, surprise, it's still tied 6-6. Steve Arnold to kick off to the Spartans. Back deep. Number 9, Haynes. I believe that's O'Brien. Good, deep kick. O'Brien takes it at the 2. Up across the 15, the 20. Got some room up the middle. Gets across the 25 and will be knocked down at the 31-yard line. In on the tackle, Meredith Davis, a sophomore for the Beavers. Greenbrier to put the ball in play. They mark it at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. It's Yates, and he fights forward for about 5 yards, and it looks like a snowstorm of yellow flags. Another penalty. So a big walk-off, a 15-yarder against Bluefield. That gives the ball to Greenbrier at midfield, 1st and 10. Haynes rolls left. Looks like he wants to pass. Now he's going to run. Gets the ball across midfield. Shakes one tackle up across the 40. He's got the first down, and he'll be knocked down at the 37-yard line. Great run by Juan Haynes. In on the tackle, Paul Gravely for Beaver.
Well, that's one big concern of Coach Simon for Bluefield is being able to stop Haynes. He said before the game he's awful quick, and that's a problem that they're going to have to face all night long. The good feet, the good speed by the quarterback, Juan Haynes.
6:12 to go, second quarter. We're all tied at 6-6. Been a good football game. A few too many penalties so far, though. Here's O'Brien trying the right side, and he'll be knocked down for only a 1-yard gain. Good tackle there by Kevin Ellison for Bluefield.
Greenbrier East could put something on the board here, really put the pressure to Bluefield and maybe take a lead in at the half. We'll have to see.
Second down, we'll call it 10. There was really effectively no gain on that play. Second man through. O'Brien has had a good night run, and this time he'll pick up a couple of yards, knocked down at the 35-yard line. Hey, don't forget to join us again next Saturday, 4:30. It'll be Pat Frizzell along with Tony Calabro. They will have a great game for you, one of the many battles down in Tazewell County, as it'll be Richlands playing at Tazewell. So be sure to join us for that one. We've got some other great games coming up. Mount View at Princeton, Princeton at Bluefield, Parkersburg up at Woodrow Wilson Beckley, and George Wythe at Graham. So some great football this fall on WVVA. 4:55 to go now in the second quarter. Third down, 8 yards for the Spartans. First man through, Yates. He's got some running room, but a good play there by number 81, Steve Arnold. Held him up at the line of scrimmage, tackled by Benners, and it'll be 4th and 5. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here. It's a short one. It'll go to Yates. He's going to run forward for the first down, but they stop him. They were ready for that. The ball was hiked to the short man, Yates. It looked like Bluefield was ready for that. In on the tackle was Mark Maddow, and Bluefield will take over. But really, nothing lost too much there for Greenbrier. They're not giving up great field position to Bluefield.
Well, Ralph, got to give you credit on that one. You called it yourself, as they do pull the fake, but really not giving up, like you say, anything at all with the ball resting on the 30-yard line. So Bluefield now has a chance to get something going with just 4:06 to play here in half number 1.
6-6 our score. Carter, quarterback, fakes the handoff up the middle. He's looking deep, puts the ball deep in the air. Had his man Thompson open, but overthrows him. He had that ball in the air about 50 yards, but overthrows Charles Thompson. So 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Thompson out wide to the left. Here's the pitch. Right side, Paul Wallace tries to get outside. He won't be able to do it. On pursuit, and the tackle for the Spartans by Tim Hoover, number 74. We'll call it a pickup of 2 yards to the 32.
A lot of open field tackles here thus far tonight. Both teams still deadlocked at 6. And it would, as I mentioned earlier, be a big boost if one of these two teams goes in leading at the half and take that mental edge into the locker room.
Third down, 8 from the 32. Now Wallace going out wide to the left. Thompson to the right. Carter in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's got a little bit of time. Going to throw it deep again for Thompson. And it's going to be picked off by Greenbrier East Marcus McClung. And he's knocked down by Thompson at the 35-yard line. That time a little underthrown. McClung playing a good job as center fielder on the interception. And Greenbrier East will take over.
Well, McClung, the 6'2", 184-pounder, the junior, good heads-up play there and kind of telegraphing the pass as Carter just throws it up, and Marcus McClung comes down with the interception.
Well, that's the first turnover for Bluefield. Of course, Greenbrier's had one, and that cost them 6 points. Let's see what this does. 3:01 to go. Been a hard-hitting football game, a lot of fun. Second man through again, O'Brien. This time there's nowhere to go. John Lambert on the tackle. We'll call that a loss of about a half a yard. That time they plugged the hole very well. Second down and just a little bit over 10 yards to go. Left side, Yates, and Lambert can't hold on to him, but a host of tacklers come over and knock him out of bounds just short of midfield for a pickup of about 8 yards. Good running there by Yates. It looked like Lambert had him, but he couldn't hold on. The ball be marked at the check that rather. It'll be the 43-yard line. It'll be second or third and 2 yards to go. After a timeout, 3rd and 2 for the Spartans. The clinic in the slot out wide to the right is Fogus. Here's a handoff. Yates, he's got the first down up across midfield and carries tacklers down to the 44-yard line. So the Spartans are on the march again with 2:09 to go in the first half of play. So 1st and 10 from the 44. Rolling right is Haynes. He's got some room to the outside, up across the line of scrimmage, and only picks up a yard. As hustling over was Miller, the linebacker, for the tackle, but we have a flag down. See some of the Spartan players clapping, so it might be against Bluefield. So after the 15-yard walk-off against Bluefield, Greenbrier finds himself in excellent field position. 1st and 10 at the 27, and they've got 1:40 to work with before we've run out of time here in the first half. Haynes has gone all the way at quarterback. Hands it off right side. O'Brien on the counter has some room. Comes up across the 25 down to the 22 for a pickup of 5 yards.
Well, Greenbrier East, an excellent opportunity to get something in on the scoreboard here, as we're still tied at 6 apiece, and if they can get something going again, that momentum so important going into the locker room. We'll have to see if Bluefield can stop them here. It could be tough with a potent Greenbrier East offense.
1:04 to go now. Here's a handoff left side to Yates. He comes up across the 20 to the 18. Should be just short of the first down. Greenbrier doesn't have to just absolutely hurry, but they've got to pay attention to that clock, and they've called timeout. After the timeout by the Spartans, they'll put it back in play. 3rd and about 1.5 yards from the 18. 52 seconds to play. In the half, up the middle. Yates, he's got the first down, and he'll get it up to the 15. It'll be first down. Greenbrier's either going to have to call timeout or hurry it up, and it appears they'll take advantage of the fact they'll stop the clock to move the first down markers. 5 seconds to go, first half. Here's pitch to O'Brien. Good defense by Lambert. Knocks him down for a yard loss. And the clock still running with 25 seconds to go. This obviously would be a big boost for the Spartans if they score, an equally big boost for Bluefield if they stop.
Greenbrier East hoping to get something on the scoreboard.
10 seconds to go. Here's the pitch, left side, and nowhere to go for O'Brien as the clock's counting down. And we're going to have a last time out by Greenbrier with 2 seconds to go. We'll see if they'll try a field goal or if they're going to try to push it in from 17 yards out. And it looks like Hanna's coming in the ball game to try a field goal. Kerry Hanna in to try the kick. Haynes will hold. They mark the ball. It'll be at the 23, a 33-yard kick. It's a good snap. Gets the kick up, and it's going to be close but short. So Bluefield has held. That kick just missed by a couple of yards. And we have come to halftime of an exciting ball game. At half, our score is Greenbrier East 6, Bluefield 6. We'll take a timeout and be back in a moment on the WVVA Game of the Week. Band doing a good job at halftime. And now we want to take a look at the Greenbrier East High School Band. They'll be traveling to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and representing our area. That'll be seen on Channel 6 Thanksgiving morning at 9 o'clock. And they're about to play at least one of my favorite songs, Hello, West Virginia, Hello, Virginia. Kickoff of the second half in just a moment on the TV6 High School Game of the Week. Ralph Oakley along with Pat Frizzell, 6-6 our score. Hard-hitting, but a penalty-marred first half, I think you'd have to say. It was really exciting to watch, but just more penalties than you would expect to see. It's going to be Steve Arnold kicking off for Bluefield. Greenbrier East defending the south goal. Our weather remains good. Nice, cool evening. Threat of rain in the area. We haven't seen it yet. But we're looking for an exciting second half of action. And to call the second half, here's Pat Frizzell.
Well, thanks a bunch, Ralph. Kicking off now for Bluefield will be number 81, Steve Arnold. The deep man for Greenbrier East, Juan Haynes and Mark O'Brien. O'Brien this season has rushed for over 100 yards each game, so he's well on his way here against Bluefield. Just about set to get the second half underway. Good crowd once again tonight. About 8,000 have showed up. About 2,000 from Greenbrier East. And it will be taken there by O'Brien, and he's across the 25 out to the 30, where Greenbrier East will start first and 10. And Ralph, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting offense for the Spartans.
On the front line, starting at left tackle, going across the line, Brad Anderson, Wayne Bostic, Andy Masters at center, Stuart Carlisle at right guard, Andy Cook at right tackle. The ends, Ronnie Cole at tight end, Eric Fogus at the wide receiver position. Juan Hayes at quarterback. The slot back is Derek Hughes. Big Scott Yates is the fullback, and Mark O'Brien at the tailback position, and he's really been the thorn in Bluefield's side tonight.
Slot eye offense for the Spartans. The give goes to the fullback Yates, and he's across the 31 out close to the 32. It's going to bring up a second down. Let's call it 8.
Checking the defensive lineup for Bluefield. On the front line at the tackle positions, we have Steve Arnold and Paul Gravely at the guards, or excuse me, defensive ends rather, Steve Arnold and Paul Gravely. The tackles are Ellison and Maddow. The nose guard is Joe Street. John Lambert and Mike Miller at the linebacker positions. Thompson, Carter, Benners, and Floyd in the defensive backfield. But now stepping in at safety in place of Carter is 5'8" senior Louis Belt.
Haynes drops the football, and he's going to be brought down, a loss of about 11 yards on the play as a mix-up in the backfield. Looks like he wanted to hand off there to O'Brien, but as you can see, a mix-up, and that's going to back him way up here, bring up a 3rd and long.
Turnovers have played a key in this ball game so far. It was the one turnover that Greenbrier East had led to the Bluefield touchdown. And of course, Greenbrier scored their touchdown after a succession of penalties against the Beavers.
Low-scoring ball game just underway here in the third quarter. 10:26 to play. I formation. The give goes to the tailback. There's O'Brien, and he's across the 20 out to about the 25. It's going to be about 15 yards short of the first down. So Bluefield holds them, and they should get very good field position on this punt. The deep man for Bluefield is Trey Steckline, and number 10, Todd Benners. Handling the punting chores, Kerry Hanna standing back at his 11-yard line, and the kick away, an end-over-end kick, will bounce at about the 45. It takes a Greenbrier East roll and will be down there by number 45, Chris White, at the 47-yard line. That's where Greenbrier East will start, Bluefield will start first and 10. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting offense for the Beavers.
Stacey Carter at quarterback. Across the front line, left tackle John Lambert, Joe Street, Jamie Music at center, Joe Skeens and Chris Mead on the front line. Charlie Thompson, one wide out. Steve Arnold is the tight end. In the slot back position, Trey Steckline, Mike Miller's the fullback, and quick Ronnie Scott is the tailback. And this is really almost the best starting field position that Bluefield's had all night.
Slot eye offense. Greenbrier East shows a 5-2 defense. There's a mix-up in the backfield, a fumble, and it looks like Greenbrier East has recovered, and let's see what the official says. Still no sign. And there we have it, the ball turned over, so Greenbrier East gets a break that they've been looking for on the 49-yard line, and that's going to leave them in very good field position here to start the third quarter.
I think it was McClung on the recovery. I believe he's being credited with it. Of course, he had that interception in the first half, so McClung always hanging around the football. So now Greenbrier East has good field position.
Two receivers split to the right side. The give goes to the fullback. That's Yates, and he's across the 45 down to about the 42. Pickup of 8 yards. That's going to bring up a second and short for the Spartans.
Floyd Ray came up and did a good job of holding Yates down. Ray only about 140 pounds. Yates 190, but he stuck right with him. Don't forget, next Saturday, one of the big battles in Tazewell County. It's Richlands at Tazewell. We'll have that for you a week from today at 4:30, right here on WVVA Channel 6.
Slot eye offense. The give goes again to Yates, and he's inside the 40-yard line down to the 38, and that's going to be very close to the first down. We'll probably have a measurement here.
One thing we haven't really seen a great deal of, I think, that we expected tonight, Haynes has not run the football from that quarterback position quite as much as we expected. They've really relied on O'Brien and Yates, and they've both responded.
So we're back, first down and 10. They give again to Yates, and a big gainer. He breaks it inside the 30, down all the way to the 20-yard line. A pickup of 18 yards, and there you have it again. Greenbrier East's ability to break through the secondary of Bluefield.
Looking back at that on replay, he must have broken 4 tackles, and finally little Todd Benners brought him down. But Yates really stays low to the ground, and Greenbrier East is knocking on the door once again with a chance to take the lead midway through the third quarter.
Well, as you'll recall, they stalled at the end of the first half in this very similar situation. The give goes to the tailback, O'Brien, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards down to the 16-yard line, where that's going to bring up a second down. Let's call it a long 6. 7:18 to play in quarter number 3, deadlocked at 6 apiece. We're so glad you joined us here on the High School Game of the Week on WVVA Channel 6. I'm Pat Frizzell along with Ralph Oakley. Haynes, and the give goes to Yates, and he gets very little, maybe a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down and 5 now for the Spartans. A big play for Greenbrier East. Third down and 5 at the 15 of Bluefield. Haynes will drop back the pass, and he is sacked.
That was Gravely on the tackle, assisted by Miller. But defensive end Gravely, who's done a good job tonight, kept Haynes contained, knocked him down, and almost really knocks him out of reasonable field goal range.
Well, the defensive line there of Bluefield came storming in, sacked Haynes, and that's the second time we've seen that tonight, as Juan Haynes dropped back to pass, and that pretty much takes him out of field goal range. It's going to be a 4th down and 16. They will go for it. Haynes, straight drop. He'll go into the end zone. The pass is nearly intercepted, intended for number 4, Robert McClintock. And Bluefield will now take over 1st and 10, but really no reason to punt in that situation.
No, not at all. And you got to credit the secondary of Bluefield. That was Thompson, number 42, who was in charge of the coverage. He almost made the interception, and in reality, he's better off that he didn't, because the interception back there would have been brought out to the 20. But as it is now, an incomplete pass, they'll get it at the 26-yard line. So Coach Fred Simon has to feel good about that defensive stand.
Both teams with unbeaten marks. 8th-ranked Greenbrier East versus Bluefield here on the High School Game of the Week on WVVA Channel 6. Carter, the give goes to Benners, and he's across the 27 out to about the 29-yard line, where that's going to bring up a second down and about 7.
Really enjoyed the halftime tonight, the chance to see both the Bluefield and Greenbrier East bands. As we mentioned, the Greenbrier East band on their way up to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. You can see that Thanksgiving morning beginning at 9 on Channel 6.
Slot eye offense. And the toss goes to the tailback, Scott, and he's got some open room. He's across the 35, out close to the 40-yard line, and that will be good enough for a Bluefield first down.
That's what the Beavers have been looking for all night, trying to get the very speedy Scott loose. That time they did around the right side, and I believe that's his longest pickup of the evening. You can see how dangerous he is.
I'm sure Coach Fred Simon of Bluefield will decide to go to Ronnie Scott a little bit more here in the second half. Very explosive tailback, Scott, the 5'6", 160-pounder. There you have it again as Scott carries, and he's across the 45 out to about the 46-yard line, where that's going to bring up a third down and about 5.
Well, penalties again. Bluefield now after that one has it 1st and 15.
So 1st down and 15, Carter, and the give goes to Scott, and he's trying to get loose, and he's going to be brought down, pickup of maybe 2 yards.
I think they'll mark maybe his forward motion up toward the 40-yard line, so maybe a pickup of about 4. But boy, he was knocked back by that Spartan defense.
Good pursuit by the Spartans on that play.
I think I'd call them sir. They're pretty tough.
Well, no question about it, only giving up 6 points, and here they are in quarter number 11. of the 1987 high school football season. Both teams 2-0 tonight, looking to go undefeated. 8 versus 9 here in West Virginia high school football. Carter, straight drop. He'll go downfield, whether he's got his man wide open. That's number 11, Paul Wallace. Touchdown, Bluefield.
Gorgeous play. As we look at that on the replay, Wallace was doing a slant in. You can see just that gorgeous speed. Carter that time did not overthrow him. Wallace ran to the ball down the middle, beat the defenders. Beautiful play. Bluefield leads it 12-6.
My goodness, Paul Wallace wide open as Carter finds him. You couldn't have painted a better picture of that one. I'll tell you, that was right on the money.
That'll make the highlight film.
That'll make the highlight film, no question about it. As Steve Arnold's extra point is up, and it is good. 3:26 to play in the third quarter, 13-6, Bluefield. And Pat Brazil back with Ralph Oakley here on the high school game of the week on WVVA Channel 6. Bluefield now leading 13-6 here in quarter number 3 as Steve Arnold set to get the kick away for Bluefield. The deep man for the Spartans, number 9, Juan Haynes, and the speedster, Mark O'Brien. The kick is away. Line drive kick will be down in the end zone by Juan Haynes. He decides, I'm not going anywhere. So a good kick by number 81, Steve Arnold, and Greenbrier East will start first and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Wind started to pick up a little bit, Pat, and I think Arnold's a good kicker anyway, but wind kind of coming out of the north, and I think that assisted him in getting into the end zone.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that last touchdown once again. Carter to Wallace.
Just a gorgeous play. Carter is shown the great arm all night. It was a slant in from the right. Wallace just beat the defenders, caught the ball in the middle of the field, and ran over the left side, touchdown.
Back to live action. The give goes to Yates, and he picks up about, 5 yards on the play. Yates seen a lot of action here thus far in the second half.
Yes, he is, and from Greenbrier East's perspective, there's no panic yet. There's 3:10 to go in the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter to go. They have been able to move the football pretty well, so it's not time to jump ship yet.
Haynes, I formation, a little bit of razzle-dazzle, and the give goes to number 21, Bernie Coleman, and boy, that had Bluefield caught off guard on that play.
Little misdirection going against the grain. Coleman, who's played some tonight but hadn't touched the football, his first time, he showed his stuff.
Well, that has to concern Fred Simon a little bit. Perhaps Coach Priddle of the Spartans will decide to pull that razzle-dazzle here in the second half. The give goes to the fullback, Scott Yates, the 5'11", 190-pound senior. He gets about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up second down. Let's call it 7.
Webster Gilbreth then on the tackle for Bluefield. That front line doing a pretty good job tonight.
Slot eye offense, and there goes Mark O'Brien across the 50, inside Bluefield territory down to the 43-yard line. And O'Brien, as he approaches that 100-yard rushing mark again, he's something else.
Hey, it's Floyd Ray with the saving, the cornerback for Bluefield with the saving tackle. Pat, we've got a little wind kicking up, and it's really kind of hard to see, but we might have a little bit of rain in the area. None right over us right now, but I'm not so sure it's not just a couple of miles away.
Bluefield shows a 5-man defensive front. The give goes to Yates. He's across the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. That's going to bring up a, let's see where the official marks it, second down. Let's call it 6.
1:30 to go here in the third quarter. The Spartans have had the ball for 2 minutes on this drive, and they've already moved the ball over 40 yards.
Sign of a good football team, being able to come right back, trailing 13-6. A lot of teams, especially at the high school level, will have a tendency to let the momentum take them out of the game, but Greenbrier East coming right back on this drive. Haynes, he'll keep it and be brought down in the open field. Good pursuit again by Bluefield as Todd Binners in on the play.
Great play. Haynes with the quick feet was trying to get the outside, and Benners just stuck his eyes right on his navel and didn't go for any fakes and knocked him down for about a 2-yard loss.
That'll make it 3rd down and 8 now for the Spartans. They give to O'Brien. He carries up the middle, and he goes close to the 1st down on the carry. Looks like he'll have it by about a yard. So Mark O'Brien, boy, he is something else. I know Coach Simon said before the game that is one of his biggest concerns is being able to stop the quick Mark O'Brien.
Tell you what, you made a good point a moment ago about a lot of teams when they get down will lose their momentum. That has not happened here at all. Greenbrier East has grabbed the momentum. 10 seconds now and counting down in the 3rd quarter. Bluefield up 13-6.
And the handoff to Yates. Oh, let's see. He's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. That'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, Bluefield leads Greenbrier East 13-6. It's going to be an exciting 4th quarter. Stay with us here on the High School Game of the Week on WVVA Channel 6. Game of the Week, as the first play of the 4th quarter, the give goes to Scott Yates, and he picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Well, that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3 yards.
Of course, one of the things we'll have to consider now is just 11:44 to go in the ball game. Should Greenbrier East score now, will they go for the extra point to tie, or will they go for the 2-point conversion? So they'll be facing that.
Still plenty of time, so you have to think that maybe if they can punch it into the end zone, Coach Homer Criddle of Greenbrier East will just go ahead and play the odds and kick the extra point. There's a flag on the play. Looks like we had somebody jump on the left side of the line as Scott Yates decides to basically react to the penalty, and that's exactly what we're going to get, is illegal procedure called against Greenbrier East, so that'll back them up 5. So crucial in high school football is not making those mistakes when you're inside the opponent's 30-yard line. That's exactly what we see here. Back to action here on the High School Game of the Week on WVVA. 3rd down and 13 after the 2 penalties against Greenbrier East. Haynes will try to pass it. He'll roll to his left and be sacked once again by that stingy Bluefield defense.
Joe Street in on the tackle, got through the line very quickly. Of course, as you might recall, Street was in on a fumble recovery in the first half. This time, knocks the quarterback Haynes way back, and Kerry Hanna coming in to punt for the Spartans with 10:40 to go in the football game.
Well, I'll tell you, Bluefield really able to read the offensive setup that time on 3rd down as they just came storming in and sacked Juan Haynes again. So Kerry Hanna, standing back at the 45-yard line, will get the punt away. Back deep is Paul Wallace. Correction there, Todd Binners at the 15-yard line. He'll call for the fair catch. So that's where Bluefield will start 1st and 10 with just 10:17 to play in the ball game. The Beavers leading 13-6.
I'll tell you, Hanna with a great kick, but once again, the big high kick, and that wasn't far from being blocked by Street. But Hanna kept his composure, and he really knocks that ball a long way up in the air, as we saw in that first punt, and that's really critical.
Beautiful night once again for high school football. Temperature about 65 degrees. You can't beat it. I formation. The toss there goes to the tailback. That's Ronnie Scott. He's out to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards. That'll make it, let's see, about a 2nd down and 5.
As we look at the replay, there's something very important to notice. Number 37, Marcus McClung. There is always a man responsible for containment. McClung, rather than really go after him, was able to contain him, keep him inside. If he gets outside, he goes 80 yards for a touchdown. This way, he only gains 4 or 5 yards.
2 receivers split to the right for Bluefield. 5-man defense in front for the Spartans. Good pursuit on the defensive line as Miller goes nowhere.
We have a flag away from the play, I think possibly a clip. And on the tackle for the Spartans, number 76, Norbert Holmes. And we had holding called against Bluefield.
Back to action after the penalty, now making it 2nd down and 15 for Bluefield. Toss there goes to Scott, and he tries to shake loose, and he gets about 4 yards where he's brought down by a couple Spartans. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down now and 10.
Spartans have done a great job of containment tonight, particularly on Ronnie Scott, a dangerous runner. And he's only broken through for a couple of reasonably long gainers. I think his longest run tonight's 11 or 12 yards.
I'm sure Homer Criddle, the coach of Greenbrier East, that's one thing he had in mind before the game, is being able to stop number 20, Ronnie Scott. They have done just that. There's the option pass as it is complete down the right sideline, and let's see who we have there with the reception. That's number 42, Charlie Thompson, as Todd Benner. That's the 2nd time we've seen that tonight. A little razzle-dazzle, the option pass complete. Pickup will be good enough for the Bluefield 1st down.
As we look at that on replay, once again, Benner's on the pitch, looked over. I'll tell you what, Thompson was well covered. He threw that right in there. Stacy Carter may be nervous about his job. Benner, I say that facetiously, but Benner's has run 2 great passes tonight, both connecting with Charlie Thompson.
High formation, and the toss goes to Wallace to the left, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of about a yard. Good pursuit there by the Spartans, as number 76, Norbert Holmes, in on the play for the Spartans.
8:08 now to go in the 4th quarter of play. Bluefield up 13-6. To recap the scoring, Greenbrier East on the board first, a 24-yard run by O'Brien in the 1st quarter, then Miller for Bluefield in the 2nd quarter. Then the one that makes a difference right now, the 60-yard pass from Carter to Wallace, made it 13-6.
Carter, the roll to his right. He's got his man. Great defensive play by number 37. That's Marcus McClung, as he appeared to have his man there. Stacy Carter did, but McClung, a good heads-up play.
I tell you what, I think Steckline thought that he was going to get that football unless he could hear McClung's footsteps, but just perfect timing by the defender. A little surprised at the way Bluefield's opening this up with the lead.
Well, you'd kind of expect them perhaps to keep the ball on the ground, be a little conservative. However, I know they really don't want to do that and sit on the lead here, as a pass downfield is underthrown, intended for number 42, Charlie Thompson.
Thompson had a step, but Carter was on the run and didn't get his foot planted there and wasn't able to get the ball out in front of Thompson. So Bluefield will have to turn it over. And Greenbrier East still out of this ball game. It's been an exciting one, really freewheeling there in the 2nd half. A lot less penalties, too.
Again, you said it, kind of surprised how Bluefield is opening up. They don't want to sit on the lead. Todd Benner standing back at the 18-yard line, gets the kick away. Juan Haynes, the deep man, and he'll field it at the 38-yard line. And a great play by number 39 for Bluefield. That's Richard Shoup.
He has made the tackle on every punt tonight for Bluefield. Just outstanding punt coverage. He should take pride in his effort tonight.
We're going to have a clipping call against Greenbrier East, so good field position again, wiped out by a penalty. The ball resting on the 42. They'll back it up 15 yards, so it's going to bring it down inside the 30-yard line. How many times have we seen that tonight? A team with good field position all of a sudden taken out of it with a penalty.
Just incredible, particularly tonight. Looking ahead at Bluefield's schedule, next weekend, Pulaski. Then they have Richlands, Beckley, and Mount View at home. On the road to Princeton, dependent, of course, on whether the stadium's finished. Then Logan, and finishing with East Bank.
There's the razzle-dazzle as number 21, Bernie Coleman, with a carry. It's about 6 yards, and again, there you have it. Homer Criddle really trying to mix things up. for the Spartans.
Kind of the inside reverse to that slot back. Coleman's run it twice, the first time for about 20 yards, this time for 6, and Bluefield is having a hard time defensing that particular play. 7 minutes now to go in the ball game, and time is starting to creep into the mind.
Second down, let's call it about 4 now. Under 7 minutes. The give goes to the fullback, number 41, Scott Yates, the 5'11 senior, and he'll have the first down easy across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. So Bluefield is going to have to toughen up on defense. We know one thing for sure, that this Greenbrier East team can strike and do it quick.
Don't forget our ball game next Saturday, 4:30. One of the battles in Tazewell County, Richlands against Tazewell. That should be a good one. Be sure to join Pat Frizzell along with Tony Calabro.
The give goes to O'Brien, and he's got some open room. There's the quickness. He fumbles the ball at the 40-yard line. Let's see who's on it. And a big break by Greenbrier East as O'Brien fumbled the ball. A couple Bluefield Beavers jumped on top of it. However, O'Brien just simply lucks out on that play.
I think Steve Arnold was the man responsible for stripping the ball away and making the recovery, and a key one for the Spartans. In fact, they picked up about 5 more yards, was Norbert Holmes.
Slot eye offense, 4-man defensive front now for Bluefield. The give goes to Yates, and another big gainer, a pickup of about 12 yards all the way to the 26-yard line of Bluefield. And I know Coach Simon now really started to tense up as his team leading 13-6. Greenbrier East threatening here. After the Bluefield timeout, we're back. Give goes to O'Brien, the tailback, and he gets about a yard on the play. I'm sure for Bluefield right now they're keen on, yes, Mark O'Brien, as he has carried the ball time and time again tonight, approaching that 100-yard mark as far as rushing is concerned. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 now for the Spartans.
You know, back when Greenbrier East was moving the ball with about 11 minutes left in the game, we were theorizing if they would score, whether they'd go for 1 or 2. I'm of the mind now, as we're down to about 5:40 to go in the game, if they score, they're going for 2 and the lead.
Receiver split to the right, and Haynes is going to keep it, and he's run out of bounds by the Beavers. That's going to be, again, very close to the first down, inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 yard, and you talk about crucial, this is it.
Floyd Ray, good job on defense, really hustled up from his defensive back position to knock Haynes out. Looked like Haynes was going to get the corner turn, but wasn't able to do it. Still, Greenbrier East in good position, field position, and a good shot at a first down. So here we go.
Under 5.5 minutes to play. The give goes to Yates, and he's down all the way inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. And my, we're going to have something go right down to the wire here, it looks like. This one's going down to the finish. As Bluefield leading 13-6. And Greenbrier East is coming right back. Homer Criddle's team has driven the length of the football field.
You know, on a couple of earlier drives, Greenbrier East wasn't able to finish, just missing the field goal at the end of the first quarter. And then problems in the first half, and problems here in the third quarter, but they're moving the ball well now.
Haynes, the give goes to, no surprise, yes, that's O'Brien, to about the 6. Well, that'll bring up a 2nd down and goal now for the Spartans.
You know, in some ways here, if you're Greenbrier East, you don't want to be in a real hurry because you don't want to give Bluefield a heck of a lot of time to make a comeback. So obviously you want to score, but you want to take your own sweet time in doing it.
The battle of 2 unbeatens, just 4:42 to play in the game, 13-6 Bluefield. Haynes, and the give goes to Yates, and he gets inside the 5 to about the 2 or 3 yard line. The official's going to mark it down at the 2. So Bluefield, Fred Simon's squad, will be looking to put the stopper on here.
I'll tell you what, Yates is a hard running back, and I will predict and it's right up the middle on this play or the next one with him. Hope I'm right.
Let's see. You've been right once tonight, that's for sure. The give goes to Yates, and the official says touchdown, Greenbrier East.
He's a strong running back, and it's the safest play, just an easy handoff right in the middle. So with 4:01 now to go in the game, it's 13-12, Bluefield on top by 1. And let's see what the Spartans are going to do. It looks like they're going to call timeout and talk about it.
.401 to play in the ball game, 13-12, Bluefield leading it. And Homer Criddle's squad has decided to go for it here as Haynes will throw into the end zone, and it is, let's see what the official's going to say, incomplete, intended for number 11. Let's see, that was Derek Hughes. Pat Frizzell back with Ralph Oakley here on the high school game of the week here on WVBA Channel 6. Greenbrier East set to get the kickoff here. Number 81, Kerry Hanna, gets the kick away, and again, there's the low bounce. Fielded by Todd Benners at the 20-yard line. He's across the 30 out to the 35, and that's where Bluefield will start first and 10. So what do you do now if you're Coach Fred Simon leading by 1 with 3:54 to play?
I would think, although Bluefield has surprised us in the second half with a wide-open offense, I would think the key here is ball control, trying to pick up a first down or two. Greenbrier's got a couple of timeouts left, but the clock running, 3:50 to go. I would imagine they'll just try to keep the ball on the ground, but who knows?
Now a split backfield for the Beavers as the handoff goes to number 20, that's Ronnie Scott, and he picks up a couple on the play.
Boy, Pat, we couldn't ask for much more drama. Two undefeated teams, beautiful night, great crowd, and just tremendous excitement. And that play on the conversion was as close as it could be.
No question, two of the top-ranked teams here in West Virginia. Stacy Carter will roll to his left, keep the ball, and good movement by Carter as he gets it out across the 40 to the 42. He could have been dropped for no gain on the play, but managed to pick up about 5 yards.
Danny Hughes in on the tackle. Carter really hasn't run much tonight. He's very quick, but good containment by Greenbrier. Now Bluefield faces 3rd and 4, and a timeout is called. Fred Simon wants to talk to his team about it.
Bluefield now facing themselves with a 3rd down and 4 situation. Two receivers to the left. Carter rolls to his left, and the pass intended for number 17, Trey Steckline, is incomplete, so that'll bring up a 3rd down. And again, the crucial play, let's go back to that 2-point conversion, which was ruled incomplete.
Looking at it on the replay, Haynes rolled right through it to Hughes in the corner, and of course, just a little bit high. Hughes bobbled the ball. As we look at it, the referee ruled that he did not have possession before he came down out of bounds. So that was a deal, and now Bluefield, as we come back to action, has to punt on 4th down.
Looked like a good call. Benners with a kick away will be fielded by Juan Haynes at the 22-yard line. Haynes, he's across the 30 to about the 33, where he's brought down. We've got a flag, and we may have a late hit. It's going to be interesting. Again, that's something Greenbrier East, they can get a break here if we've got a personal foul, as we're waiting the call by the official. Again, quite a slate of games coming up here on WVVA, our high school games of the weekend. Ralph, why don't you go ahead and take a look at some of them we have coming up.
All righty, next Saturday at 4:30, join Pat along with Tony Calabro. We have Richlands at Tazewell. Then on Saturday, October 3rd, Mount View at Princeton. On the 17th of October, we'll have Princeton at Bluefield. Then Parkersburg at Woodrow Wilson and Beckley on the 24th of October. Round out the season on November 1st. Be a little colder by then. We may put these windows down as George Wythe comes up to visit Graham in what could be an important game in determining Virginia playoffs.
Again, Greenbrier East makes the crucial mistake. Personal foul called with 2:18 to play in the game. So that'll back them up. They would have had good field position. Now they're going to start 1st down and 10 back at the 20. Haynes gives to O'Brien, and he's out across the 25, out close to the 26-yard line. The official is going to put it back, though, at the 25. Again, Pat Brazell with Ralph Oakley. We're so glad you joined us here on the High School Game of the Week here on WVBA Channel 6. Haynes, the give goes to O'Brien, and he's knocked down on 3rd down and 4, and it's going to be about a yard, maybe 2, short of the first down. The play of the game for both teams with 1:05 to play. 4th down and a long one for Greenbrier East. They're going to go for it. The give goes to Yates, and he will have the first down. Let's see the official, if it is where he's going to mark it, then they will have it. The clock is stopped with 59 seconds to play. And yes, it's a first down for Greenbrier East.
Look for that Bluefield defense to hang back a little bit. They don't want to give up the bomb. Haynes has certainly got the arm to throw it.
2-minute offense for the Spartans. Surprisingly, they go on the ground with it. And O'Brien gets about 3 yards, and you have to wonder why they're not putting the ball up in the air here.
I think we've seen the last running play here of the game now. Surprising, too. Haynes calling out the play.
Just 37 seconds, the clock still moving. Haynes, drop back, and it's intercepted by number 10. Spinners down the sideline, 10, foot race to the corner. Touchdown, Bluefield.
Beautiful interception. Benners came over as we look at the replay and grabbed it and ran it in, but we have a flag, and apparently it's going to be a clip. But a gorgeous, gorgeous interception by Benners.
Back to live action. Bluefield will probably just keep it on the ground here. Carter just falls on it. And we're down to 20 seconds, and I do not think Greenbrier East has any timeouts, so they'll just have to sit and watch the clock run.
It's been a great football game, especially second half, Pat.
It sure has. 8 versus 9. You couldn't ask for much more, as Bluefield will go to 3-0. Greenbrier East will drop to 2-1, and that's the ball game. So Bluefield wins the battle of unbeatens tonight as they come out on top 13-12.
Let's go ahead and show you the highlights of tonight's game. With 1:03 to play in the first quarter, a 34-yard run. This one by Mark O'Brien. The kick failed. Greenbrier led it 6-0. Second quarter action, this 1-yard run by Mike Miller. The kick failed, deadlocking the score at 6 apiece, and that's where we went into halftime with the score tied. Third quarter action, Bluefield goes up on top here. Stacy Carter to Paul Wallace, this 60-yard pass. The kick was good, and Bluefield now led it 13-6 in the third quarter. The only other score of the ball game with 4:01 to play in the fourth quarter, Scott Yates, this 2-yard run, the pass conversion failed. The final, once again, 13.
Raymond Ball in West Virginia. Our high school game of the week matches the Bulldogs of Tazewell in the Richlands Blue Tornado and a key Southwest District matchup. Tazewell will be looking for a victory at home.
I believe we're going to have to control the line of scrimmage mostly. Like I say, the battle's won right there on the line of scrimmage. If we can control the line of scrimmage, get good blocking from our backs, I believe we'll be able to move the ball fairly well.
We're going to have to try to win the battle up inside, just like Jeff said. That's where the battle's won. It's going to be really tough. They've got some real good offensive